Systemic racism, right, is a problem that's most definitely needed to be addressed within inside the country that we live in, within inside our households, and especially inside our communities. I got this little saying that I had with myself for years when I'm brainstorming. And the little saying that I embraced was that every problem that's created in mankind that we know of, far as disease and cures, vaccines, right? Whenever you're infected, right, what do? You go to the doctor. Doctor give you an exam, right? When the doctor provides you with the exam, right, basic shit, basic routine, he's gonna provide you with a prescription, right? At that juncture, he's not even gonna tell you how you got to the point of even coming to see him today and why he's really giving you this vaccine or this medication, this prescription. He just provides you with the prescription and telling you, and asking you who is your insurance provider, right? So when it comes to what I really want to focus on right here is racism. And I'm going to go back to that. Racism is an infection, right? Man created the disease and the infection of racism. Man-made infection. So basically, all man-made infections, basically, we can find a cure and an antidote and a vaccine to vaccinate and kill the infection or control the infection. So, the infection of racism, right, has to be vaccinated within first ourselves, our households, and then our communities. And then after that, then we bring it to Wall Street. Then we bring it to the justices, Shout out to Ruth Ginsburg. Then we bring it to the justice. But like I said, we have to address the infection ourselves. Any infection that you incur that we know as mankind, from medical examiners, scientists, they provide you with that vaccine or penicillin for you to take orally. So that means that if you had to take it orally, we're going to fight this infection from the inside. So I'm saying that to expound on what I just mentioned about racism being an infection that's man-made that we can come up with a cure or a vaccine for, and we would have to first start within ourselves, then our own households, and then our communities. Because you have to do it from the inside out to cure the infection. Let's not get so caught up in protesting for Congress and our local ward councilmen and Joe Biden and Donald Trump and, Kamala Harris, whoever your draft pick is politically. Let's move that to the side, right? And channel that energy into our households and ourselves with vaccinating systemic racism within ourselves, within our households, and then our communities, and then we take it to the big dogs. And that's how we begin the process of a change for America. We have to begin to love. That's one of the key ingredients to this vaccine that's needed for us to kill systemic racism and racism within ourselves and within our households and our communities before we take it to the big dogs. I'm going to reiterate that again. Because if I walk down the street right now, and maybe I will, maybe I won't video it, but if I walk down the community that I went to school with, people that I went to school with, people that maybe some ex-relationships, whatever the case may be, that I had interaction with you within my existence. And I speak to you, and you'll frown at me, or you get upset, and then someone speak and greet me. It's all mixed up. If I walk down the street and I see another black person, and I say, yo, what up, bro? How y'all doing? Yo, you know that nigga? No, I don't know that nigga. Fuck he speaking to? You know what I'm saying? You see a female walking down the street, and I'm just gonna say female, a woman, a lady, however you want to depict it, of our ethnic background, a black woman. And the black women are beautiful. They're beautiful, they're unique, they're eye-catching. Black women are wonderful. God made no mistakes when he created the black woman. I just had to throw that in there. But this is a mistake. Well, God didn't create this in them. This was a infection that we need to cure too. And I see one of God's beautifulest creation, a black woman, walking down the street. She got her Daisy Duke hot shorts on. She got her lace front done right, her box braids, her blonde hair, blue hair, legs, oil, hands manicured, feet manicured, nails done, smelling good. And you say, Dad, how you doing, sexy? How you doing, beautiful? And that sister will turn around and look you up and down and catch your attitude over her brother complimenting her and speaking to her. That's systemic racism. That's racism when our own sisters can't appreciate their own brothers appreciating them. Now, don't get me wrong now. Some brothers come out maybe in a derogatory manner when speaking to a sister that's attractive sister that's, walking by, driving by, standing by, and he might use a derogatory term or might address her in a fashion that's maybe deemed inappropriate. You know what I mean? Maybe she's with her children at the time, and I don't think that's the appropriate time for any man, no matter how a woman looks, to be trying to holler at her while she's interacting with her children. But the majority of the brothers normally just speak. I see it every day. I even go through it. It does, every time a brother speaks to a sister, and it's a known fact, it's like her defense activates the same way the defense activates in a white person or a Hispanic person or someone else in another ethnic background. Which you should expect that from them. But even so, even with them, I can't really say, because a lot of Puerto Rican women, Spanish women, other ethnic women, the brothers speak to them, no matter whether he got Jordans on or holes in his shoes, whether he's driving a Ferrari or whether he's driving a Camry, you know what I'm saying? They will still smile and say thank you and keep it pushing. So it's the sisters that utilize racism towards their own brothers. And I'm only keeping it real. If I walk down the street, like I said, I might to have to show and prove anybody. If I choose to post this video and someone chooses to comment on what I'm saying, or try to downplay or challenge what I'm saying, I might entertain recording it to support what I'm speaking about now. But to sum this all up, to be continued, to deal with racism and deal with issues surrounding the black communities and the black households, even down to justice, we have to provide justice and respect and honor for ourselves and provide that to each other in our passings, in our greetings, in our comings, and in our goings. And then that's when the other ethnic groups and people and officers and places of government that utilize systemic racism, and all the fundamentals of say like the Ku Klux Klan belief. they begin to not be so cocky and arrogant with it now, because they see that we as a people are treating each other as people and treating each other as human beings and treating each other with compassion first. And then that's when we begin to vaccinate in this country systemic racism, and then the effect of that would be the growth and the development of us as a people in this country that we call America. But let's start appreciating each other. Stop when a brother stops another sister and compliments her or try to holler at her, play his game, put his roamy roam down, and, greet that with love. You know what I'm saying? And appreciation. And don't greet it with, don't speak to me, nigga. I don't know you. Oh, look at him. He got rundown shoes on. And he gonna say, how you doing, sister? Come on, man. Instead of just saying, thank you, brother. You kind of handsome yourself. Have a nice day. And then, systematically, you will start to see what they call cognitive thinking of the masses starting to formulate what I mentioned previously, love amongst ourselves and our communities, and then we're providing it back to each other. Let's have some type of unification that's confirmed by our own personal application of ourselves to our brothers, our sisters, and then the rest of mankind. It never hurts for someone to say hi. There's no need for you to go get your brother that's blood, your brother that's crip, your cousin that's guard body, your Uncle Bob that's on the South District Police Force, or none of that. To go jump on another brother in the community because he tried to speak to you. He spoke to you, basically. But if the shoe was on the other foot, and I see it every day, a Spanish guy speak to a sister, ooh, he kind of cute. We can have an anniversary, baby. Another ethnic group speaks to that sister, she smiles and stops and says thank you. But why can't you provide your brother with the same type of response? Let's love each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Another thing to protest for. Okay, police brutality, been going on forever. I got a couple of bumps and bruises from police brutality throughout my years, my 50 years of being here. That's been the social norm, you know. The big people that we're protesting and marching for, they know that too. It's just that now technology and photography and people having the free will by us having a democracy here in the United States to take videos and not be punished for it. And it's just being presented to the masses now. I lost a thought for a minute, but I'm going to get back to it. So it's being presented to the masses right now. Oh yeah, about the police brutality. So, like I said, we out there, we protesting. Stop that. Let's protest some other issues first. Like I said, let's vaccinate some other infections in our community that contributes to the poverty and the mental health issues and everything else that's plaguing the hood. All these dollar stores. Every corner in Jersey City in the Greenville section, you got a dollar store that sells the same thing. How you have $4 stores on this side of the street and $4 stores on the other side of the street, right? And each one of them provides the same service. Loose cigarettes, blunt wraps, and non-nutritious items, right? And they won't let you go for a nickel. They don't even have a black person working in near one of these stores without the Jersey City community. Near Chinese place, chicken place, gas station, bodega, none of them has anyone from the community employed inside those establishments. But what they will allow is for you to stand in front of the business and beg for change until someone complains. Instead of giving you a broom and a couple of hours every day in that store and get back to the community that they're providing for their family and their communities with. Because none of those people and none of those bodegas live in these hoods or within these communities. So that means that every dollar, every food stamp, every loosely sold, every quarter, every blunt wrap, that's being filtered to their households and their communities, but they are extracting it from us with no recourse. But they got grants and loans from local officials, from the government, right? And I'm quite sure that it depicts that when you would put all these dollar stores and all these bodegas within inside our community, that you have to not only take out of that community, you have to put back into that community. You have to contribute to the growth and development also to that community. Because that's like all them bodegas and dollar stores I just mentioned in our community. They making money hand over fist, tax free in our backyard. Every one of those stores in Jersey City was black owned when I came up here, when I grew up here. What's the problem now? So if we want to protest and we want to start the process of eradicating systemic racism and social injustice, you understand what I'm saying? We have to get on that light rail of us vaccinating ourselves within ourselves and then continue to provide the same vaccine to everyone else that's willing to take it. And we come up with a cure and a solution. Trump is a gangster. He's just in it for his family, his people. Hey, you can't knock it. It's the American way and a lot of, people's ideologies and concepts, Joe Biden, he said it to everybody. Me? A radical? A gangster? A thug? Gangbanger? Look at me. You gotta be kidding me. Look at me, America. Do I depict any characteristic of being a thug, a gangster? I'm a white man too. Really? Trump said it the best. It is what it is. Kamala Harris, she's not Afro-American. But all of them, in all the situations, all the propaganda, all the news report, right, doesn't affect us. And they don't care about us. We have to care about us and then protest for them to care about us, based upon us demonstrating through our actions, our conduct, and we being ready and willing and able as a people to show the world that what we demand from y'all, we also demand from ourselves amongst ourselves. Yeah, I got a lot to talk about. But I would love for anyone that couldn't comprehend anything that I said, or maybe I jumped to this and jumped back to that or whatever, and I didn't formulate it, adequately enough for some. But feel free, inbox me, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? But if you is registered to vote, go vote. Really don't help us too much, but just get in the habit. So when we get that vaccination going to eradicate that racism and that self-hate towards each other and start depicting that love and that unification to each other, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll take it from there. But God bless. Everybody be safe. Like I said, if you can vote, vote just to get in the habit. So when we start stepping up, you understand what I'm saying? You'll already be familiar with the process with voting. You'll already been paid your fine, so you had the opportunity to vote. Who we want to be there. And like I said, y'all want to protest, I challenge everybody in the hood. You know what I'm saying? These bodegas out here, these Chinese places, these whatever they is in the hood selling us all that garbage. You know what I'm saying? Tell them in the summertime to hire your grandson or your son or your daughter, you know what I'm saying, in the summertime. So they don't have to stand in front of their store and try to sell a bag of weed or a bag of dope. Tell them to hire your uncle, your nephew, whoever they out there getting high. You know what I'm saying? They come and ask you for $5, $6 every day. But they hang out in front of this store every day. They buy Lucy's and shit out of there. Why can't they, get a job and they're getting paid every week, couple hours? Just something to think about. Love y'all. Stay safe. As always, your boy. Peace.